How's everybody going today? Well, I say just monkeying around here today, doing piddly ass little stuff. Should be fixing fence, but I got some other things I gotta do first. Need to get fence fixed, so I can let them other ones out that end and start cleaning that end of the barn. But if I fix it today, more than likely I ain't gonna go out much next week anyhow. Weather's moving in again. Got snow for next week, so I ain't gonna be hauling manure anyhow. But I gotta dig that gate out down there. It's getting so I can't open it again. So that's what I'm working on doing. But so I just come in here. Cute calves always make good views, don't they? And this is what? Today's April 1st. And I think I wish anybody a happy April Fool's Day, because there are too many fools out there. We need to eradicate some fools. But yeah, I'd say give it a few days, clean her up. She's doing good. Ain't ya, huh? Yeah, don't tell me you're hungry, because I already fed you today once. Still another couple hours before you get to eat again. And she finally eating a bottle pretty good first couple days. She didn't quite eat a whole bottle, but small calves eat little amounts. So don't worry about it. They come around. And some of these other ones still are trying to claim the calf. They've calmed down from that. The mother, when I bring her in to milk her, she shows a little more interest in it, but again, she really don't care. So that's just what's going on in here at the moment. Like I say, I'm gotta dig enough out of that gate down there so I can open and close it, so I can at least bring hay in. So that's the next job I'm gonna work on. You know, I've been working on this. I didn't video any of it because what thrill is to watch me stick some pins in some teeth. But I got all my teeth back on this bucket, so at least now I can use it. And it's somewhat a semi-temporary, but probably permanent fix. One problem is, like I said, these teeth are loose, so they work back and forth. And when you got, 600-800 pounds of shit hanging on them teeth, and you dump it over, they slam back and forth, and that's what bends the pins that are holding them in. I usually just got cotta keys or a nail, because no matter what you put in there, it's going to bend. And then that's what happens. They bend and pull through. Now, I've welded washers on the back there before, and they're getting a little wore out. And I thought that would be the whole thing I could do again, but essentially what needs to be done is just taken somewhere and rebuilt. Because here's the bigger problem. You can see all these are wallowed out. That's what them holes are supposed to look like. I could put another set of teeth in between here, or what I should do to get more life now, since I could just take out these end ones, like move this end one over to here, just move these over one, and instead of having 8 on here, it only really have 6. And that would take up all the play out of it for now. And I can pick up just as much with 6 tines as I can with 8 tines. I mean, half the time I'm running without a tooth on there, and as long as you're in bedding hay, it doesn't matter much. But if I move them all over, I'd have new holes in back, new holes in front, and that would tighten that up quite a bit. What should do, I was thinking here, take it somewhere, get a piece of box tubing cut, that these would fit into, and cut them out and weld new boxes in there. Because right now, all it's here is just the thickness of the metal across the front here, and then the strap in the back. This strap here in the back. I'll get it in its frame here. This right here. It's basically all I mean, it is resting on a ledge on the bottom, but that's what bangs around on top. You know, it's got all the support on the bottom. That's what I was getting at. It's got all that support on the bottom, but if I'd get a piece of tubing cut to fit in there, because there ain't nothing above this. You know, it just bends down there and there's that gap. So if you get a piece of tubing that would go all the way through, that would cradle this whole tooth and get it welded in there, that would give it more support maybe. I don't know, I've run this bucket now for, oh, what the hell has it been? This is the first bucket up, first or second. I bought the skid steer with a mud slurry bucket, a brand new bucket. Then I bought another used bucket for dirt and stuff to haul manure. I don't want to use the same bucket for feed as I do for manure. And then I think I bought this one. I bought this, what the hell did I buy this? 92, 94? No, 90. 92. Bought the skid steer, I bought the round baler in 94. It was 96 or 98 when I bought this. Yeah, I've had this bucket 20 years. So, I guess I can't complain too much for the amount I have loaded with this. But I gotta should get some work done to it. But again, like I say, if I move them teeth around, it'll probably outlast me. Oh, I need to probably get another 5 or 10 years out of it, if I'm lucky. So I still got to bend my pins to hold them teeth in. That's gonna be better if I tilt this down so they're up in the air so I can see them. So I'm gonna get them bent, and then I'm gonna go take several bucketfuls of shit out of that back corner so and then I gotta put a bale of hay in there. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Yeah, I got a little carried away. I was only going to dig enough really so I could get this gate open and closed to bring hay in. But I just kept going and going and going, so I gotta take much more. I gotta screw him up for eating. He'll be able to stand up here and eat like that one, but I'm gonna try to take this hide part off. Again, I get started on something I just can't stop. Technically it's gonna have to be all dug out so I can go in and out that gate anyhow, but it'd be a lot easier if I had a grapple bucket. Now this is a bucket from Bobcat. It's a Bobcat bucket. And you can see the mast for the cylinder and them holes there for a hinge. But this bucket didn't have it when I bought it. I bought this at an auction used. And I never did price to see what it would cost, but I never liked the looks of it. I've seen the pictures of it because I've had to order new tines. So I've seen it in the parts book. But I imagine it'd be alright for this. I mean, I get too carried away. I try to take too much at a time. If I just take that layer, drop that in, pick it up, break it up a lot easier, probably would work. But I always felt what I saw in the pictures was just too light duty to do anything with to a large scale. I think it's more for bulky material myself. But, oh well. So I'm gonna try to take another half dozen bucketfuls out of here if I can without getting too much more carried away. Get a bale of hay in here and call this job done. You know, since I had enough time, I said I'm gonna come out here and work on this fence a little bit. There ain't really a whole much to do. I don't even know if I remember if I showed that video. I did go around this once and showed. It wasn't going to take much. I need probably 3 or 4 insulators, or not insulators, but staples around that side of the fence. I don't think I needed anything along the road. The biggest thing was this here. Now, like I said, I've mentioned it before, and anybody remembers, last fall I had cows get out. Couldn't figure out where. And about the time it was going to start snowing, so we left them in. Well, I found the corner post up there by that, in front of the barn there, broke and fell over, and this wire dropped down. And I could have probably just put a new corner post up there. Problem is, about the only way you're going to get a corner post like that in, which I'd have a railroad tie. This is an old telephone pole that they pulled out before. And I think that's what I had up in that corner, broke off. I would use a railroad tie, but the only way to get them in the ground is to drill a hole, auger, and I don't know if they've gone up any or not, but I've rented a post hole auger bit for the skid steer before, the motor and a 9-inch bit, and it cost $75. Yeah, I'm not going to spend $75 just to put that one post in. I really don't need any other posts. And for the last 10 years, we haven't had anything up in here. He said the original plan was to still use this barn for dry cows, and this is going to be a pen for them to come outside with. So that's why I had this penned off separate. The last couple of years, I've been going to remove this fence here, so these cows could get all the way up here, but I got to replace a lot of that fence over there. The only reason why I need this wire in otherwise is because the fencer is in that corner of that barn, which it's going to be easier to move it than dick with all this shit. So I said to hell with it, I'm going to just cut this wire off here, put this as the corner post. Part of the problem is I never put any bracing in to hold them corners, but so I just got done doing that, cutting them wires off, shortening them up to that post. All these insulators here are broke. I didn't grab a bag of them, but don't need it today now. But I got to replace these insulators. The biggest thing is I got to go get a 12-foot gate. The bastards in the barn there broke up the one gate I have them divided. So it was a 12-foot. I got several other 10-footers around here. And I can maybe even do that. Just stick a 10-foot, and I got a couple 6-foot gates around here. Crisscross them, tie them in there. But like I said, I'll probably go get that gate. So that's all needs to be done. I just got to tighten this wire up, which is no big deal. I got tighteners there. So he's got to take a wrench, and that stretch along there needs tightened up. 4 or 5 why do I want to say insulators? Staples, which I don't think they'd bother anyhow, but don't have them staples on there. But get them staples in, and then this fence will be good. And I can let that, at least that one group of cows out. A lot of them haven't never been out to a fence before, so go check that out a little bit. Work on them a little bit, and might let a few of them out at a time. Maybe they'll get used to it. So happened last time. There's 2 or 3 in there that I had separated one other time. They broke through the fence, and they just, I say, once they get used to each other, they'll listen. It's when you put them out there the first time, they don't know nothing. They just run, and they don't know when to stop or anything. They don't look. So I say, you get them, let them out after they've run around a little bit, then they'll maybe not see. But to do that, I'm going to have the fencer hooked up. So that's over here now. They say this here. I mean, what pasture would be there? It ain't worth the effort to put in all that fence either. And who knows? This might be last year I need a fence around here. Who knows? Why put all the extra work in if you don't know? So, like I say, it'll be another week or so before I can. We'll think about putting them out. Grass is just starting to grow, and I can see it's greening up. You can see, like right there, it's starting to come through the dead grass. So, but like I say, don't want to put them out there while it's wet and let them run around, and they'll just rut everything up, and you won't have no grass out there. So, that'll be the next thing. And then that's the other thing. I can't find my staples. I think I might have used them all. So I got to go get a gate, go get staples. I know I have them insulators. And that could pretty much be about all I need to do for this fence. So I guess that's about the last I'm going to do today. It's getting cooled off here now. Like I say, we got snow in the forecast again for next week, so no sense getting all worked up about everything. Get out here while they're still dyed back and stuff, see if I can get that flower rose cut out of there. Get that chopped down. And life will be good for the moment. There's always something else that'll screw it up, so I'm going to the house and get warmed up. I mean, it is getting chilled off out here. Looks nice and bright and sunny and spring and should be warm, but it's not. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll catch up with you later.